All right, welcome back to the podcast, Redeemed.
Welcome back.
We're going to go ahead and jump on into Judges. I did some looking at Joshua, and there's a few more things in there, but not a whole lot of things are really exciting. And so we're just going to go ahead and jump a little bit and jump into Judges, because Judges is kind of fun to talk about. It's one of those fun books. Got lots of really interesting characters that I remember growing up. Kind of made a impression on me.
Lots of them.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you could have asked me about Judges, and I could tell you about several characters in there, even as a kid, because it's like, man, these characters are crazy. And there's just something about some of these judges that just appeal to you're like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're such good stories.
Yeah, and the details that they put in there just are...
And they're almost like short stories, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like not the tall tales, but, well, kind of, because tall tales are short stories, too. But it's like just a short, brief story of what this guy or girl accomplished, and then they're on to the next one.
Because isn't Judges...
Oh, no.
Judges
They're on a
is
motorcycle.
the sin cycle.
Sin cycle.
Right?
There we go.
Yep.
Yes.
I remember the cycle.
Yeah.
He's on the motorcycle.
Because it's a sin cycle.
Yep.
I want to say it says sin on it, maybe?
Well, it's a judge riding a motorcycle.
Yep.
And
Judges cycles is what it
Okay.
is.
It's just cycles?
It's cycles.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's the sin cycle where they sinned and then they're taken into captivity and then
he sends a judge.
judge.
And then,
repent. Then they are saved and then they just start all over again.
God,
And they do it several times throughout
Yeah.
throughout Judges. It's funny, and still yet they just still always turn away from God.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no sin on the motorcycle.
But but the funny part, I think it's 7 times.
Yeah, there's a 7 on the
Yeah,
motorcycle.
there it goes. Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
So there was something on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
and it always cracks me up because I make fun of these people because they keep doing the same thing over again. But we're no different. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, we constantly have to be coming before the Lord asking for forgiveness too.
Yeah, and not even just us, but you could make the whole statement about, the Israelites always do these things and they're stuck in the sin cycle. But so is pretty much every country.
Right.
And the people within that country, obviously.
Yep.
So
and there's a lot of times where we just have to go before the Lord and say, hey, help us. Now the goal is as a Christian is that we quit doing that. You know what I'm saying?
it's the goal.
Yeah, that we. I mean,
Facts.
and the goal would be is that if you're stuck in a sin cycle, is that you break that cycle, and then start working on another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Cycle can be a good thing.
Yep. Is that you can break that cycle, and then hopefully you don't have to go back to that cycle, but you can start working on a different sin, a different aspect of your life.
Not sin.
Right.
You said a different sin. Oh, I see what you're saying. Working on a different sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you now.
You shouldn't be aiming to be stuck
Yeah,
in
no,
a sin
right.
cycle.
Right. All right.
No. I got what you're saying now.
I'm sorry if that didn't come out clear. But I just feel like that.
You get to find-
That's what happens to us.
Correct. But
But,
as sinners, there's always a sin that we're going to have to keep working on.
Yes.
but we should try really hard not to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. The idea is that you break the sin cycle, so you no longer go there.
Yeah.
But then we
I see
can
what
start
you're
working
saying.
on a different sin or a different
Always
aspect of our life.
something to work on.
Yes, needs to be worked on.
Yeah. First time
not
I was like, then
perfect.
you find your new sin.
Yeah.
Then you find your sin.
It sounded like so positive.
But no, I got you.
I was like, hey, beat that sin. Oh, crap, here's another one.
Got a new one coming.
And another one just popped up. Dang it.
Dadgummit.
Don't want that.
All right. So the first judge I thought we'd talk about, because he's not the first judge. Othniel was. But there's just very little it says about him. And so I wanted to go ahead and jump to Ehud, because as a kid, he was absolutely, and he probably still is probably one of my favorite judges in the book.
Man of action.
He was.
Yeah.
And very few words.
Fact.
He got the job done. I do like how the commentary says that, that we're probably not supposed to idolize Ehud and what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's a fair point.
it may not have been exactly what God wanted. Take that for what it's worth.
It was effective.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen God wipe out entire nations in multiple books. You know what I'm saying here in the Bible. So I don't know. So I'll leave that up to you to try to decide what you think there. But God did use this to free his people.
And jumping in there, but
and basically start the cycle again. So what do we have? Well, we have the Israelites, and they did evil in the eyes of the Lord once again. Okay. And because they did evil, what does the Lord do? He's trying to draw them back to him. So what happens? He gives them over to the king of Eglon, or the king of Moab, King Eglon. And getting the Amorites and the Amalekites to join him, they came and attacked Israel. They took possession of the city of Palms, which I'm pretty sure is Jerusalem. It's just another name for Jerusalem.
Jericho.
Oh, is it Jericho?
Yep.
Okay, there you go.
Per the footnote here.
Okay, city of Jericho. And the Israelites were subjects to Eglon, the king of Moab, for 18 years.
It's a long time.
That was a really long time.
Really long time.
Because some of these kings don't last that long.
No.
They last like a year.
Well, it's either
a really long time
Or really short.
really short time.
or the Israelites were extremely stubborn.
Yeah.
Because it took 18
How long did it take them to turn
years
back to
for them
God?
to say, Lord,
All right.
save us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So that's a long time.
That is a long time.
And it must have got pretty bad because at some point they cried out to the Lord, and he gave them a deliverer. So see, God is working through Ehud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I like the details the story has. It says that Ehud was a left-handed man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So even if you're a lefty, God can use you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now the commentary says that that there is probably a reason why that was. That was kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, we should finish the story. And then
But we'll
talk
finish the
about
story
that.
and then talk about that in a minute.
Otherwise, that'd be hashtag spoiler.
But
Spoiler
keep that thought in mind
Yeah.
that he was left-handed, because that does play into this.
If you're watching on Facebook right now, hold up your left hand so we don't forget. Continue.
And then, so what do we have? Well, he goes. So the Israelites sent him with the tribute to Eglon. He goes and he has a meeting with the king, but he's got this double-edged sword. It's about a
18
cubit
inches.
long, which is 18 inches, strapped to his right thigh under his clothing. So you kind of get the foreshadowing where this is going.
Yep. Now that your left hand is up, place it on your right thigh. Continue.
Okay.
Imagine there's a sword there.
We're gonna make this. We're gonna make this kind of like Dora.
So
Do
then,
you see the blue tree?
and so then he goes and presents the stuff to the king, and then he leaves, sends all the attendants that were with him ahead of him, and he sneaks back and comes back to the king of Moab, Eglon, and says, "Hey, I got a message from you from God."
Why do you think he left first?
I thought that was interesting too,
Like,
and it was a certain point that he left and then turned around.
because the attendants came back with him. You know, it wasn't like, oh,
almost
now
like
they're all
he-
gone. I'll go back in.
It's almost like, and again, it doesn't say anything about this. Just a thought. It's almost like he almost didn't go through with it. You know what I mean? Presented it to him,
Maybe
then left, and he's like, I really shouldn't stab this guy. And then
this
he
could
got
end
about
badly.
halfway out, and he's like,
I
"Nah, gotta stab him."
Yeah, and so he turns back around.
That's
Tells the
what
king,
it
"Hey,
seems
I
like.
have
Yeah.
the sword. I might
Hey.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe he was doubting what he was doing for a second. I
Maybe.
don't know. We'll ask him when we get to heaven.
Yeah.
I'm just
you know.
curious.
Pop that DVD in.
What was
Yeah.
the reason?
And then, so then while he was sitting alone, he approached him, said, "Hey, I have a message from God from you." As the king rose from his seat, he had reached with his left hand, drew the sword from his right thigh, and plunged it into the king's belly.
Stab.
Now, what we have to understand is that the king of Eglon,
Eglon.
was a very fat king.
Yeah.
Says so right here. It's in the Bible.
Yep. And
Eglon did not get a lot of
exercise.
or positive press from
No.
the Bible.
Did not.
Nope. Even the handle sank in after the blade. Okay.
Guy need to get on a stairmaster.
Yeah. And it says Ehud did not pull the sword out. He just
Well, no,
left
it was
it
gone.
Yeah. And it
I'll
says,
make another one.
and it says the fat closed in over it.
Ugh.
Disappearo.
Yep. And then Ehud went out to the porch. He shut the doors of the upper room behind him and locked them.
Well.
And after he'd gone, the servants came and found the doors of the upper room locked. They said he must be relieving himself in the inner room of the palace. They waited to the point of embarrassment, but when he did not open the doors, they took the key and locked them, and they saw that their lord had fallen to the floor, dead.
Yep. And while they were waiting, Ehud got away.
And got away, and then went and blew the trumpets and got Israel together, and whoop, they came in, killed 10,000.
Follow me, he ordered, for the Lord has given Moab, your enemy, into your hands. So they followed him down. You're everything that's wrong with this world.
Please silence your cell phones.
Yeah. Was it anybody important?
My guess is it's my
Your
wife.
wife?
I'll check it here in just a minute.
Ashley, not now.
She doesn't watch. It's okay.
She doesn't.
So anyway, to end the story, God used Ehud to set his people free, and then they repented, came back to him, and
We had peace for 80 years.
peace for 80 years.
That's what it says.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
It is a long time.
Oh, speaking of we got interrupted by the phone. But the left-handed commentary. So it says that Ehud hid his weapon on his right thigh, making it easy to draw the blade with his left hand. But when Ehud passed through the palace gates, the guards probably looked for a weapon strapped to his left thigh, where right-handed soldiers carried their swords. They did not see the short sword he concealed. As a result, Eglon thought Ehud was unarmed.
That's a crazy mistake to make as a guard.
It is.
To
And
not
again,
check
that's
both
just
sides.
commentary, but it does check out because lefties, especially, well, lefties just aren't common in general.
Yeah.
But then you're
I
thinking,
guess that
guys
makes sense.
right-handed, reaching here.
Yeah.
Okay, so but again, while you're there, it's like, maybe check
Let's
both
just
sides.
check both sides.
Yeah, but no.
I wonder what happened to the guy who was in charge of the searching. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think he probably died with the rest of the Moabites.
probably
So-
one of the 10,000.
Yeah.
Could be.
Probably not a lot to worry about
Nope.
there now
Nope.
that he's dead.
There you
So
go.
just it's interesting what God can do and the way He does things.
Yep.
As we looked in Joshua walking around a city, knocked down the walls. Here He uses a left-handed man to free the Israelites.
Yep.
I mean, it's just God can do things. He's God, and sometimes He just does things His own way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's outside of what we can think or grasp.
Most of the time.
And so, it's just it's neat to read these to put God back in perspective of He's God. He'll do what He wants.
Yep.
And He will create the way any way He wants to.
We just got to trust.
We just got to trust. And I do like, the amazing story, though, about Judges is the constant repentance that, and not the redemption that He gives them. The forgiveness. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yep.
Is that even though they continue to sin against Him, they keep turning away from Him, what happens? He
It
continually forgives
always-
them and brings them back to Him.
It's the 7 cycles.
Yeah. I mean, God is just amazing in His long-suffering,
Facts.
in His love, and
Thankfully.
how much that He really cares for the Israelites. And for us. I mean, ultimately, that's
Yeah.
what we get to. I mean, this
Yeah.
is the Israelites, but ultimately, it's a picture of the way He loves us.
Carries over to us as
Yep.
well.
All right. Well, you guys have a good week, and we'll talk to you later.